So, we're awake, and by we, I mean me. I don't know why I take the collective tone there, but I'm awake, just barely, but I'm awake. I'm waiting for that bad boy to kick in. It is full to the brim with elk blood. You know, that's how I wake up in the morning. It's a good refresher, you know, especially if it's ice cold. Yeah. I got some sleep, thank good, because I was getting to the point where like it was becoming physically noticeable that I needed sleep. Like I would look in the mirror or in my truck or something, and you could see that I was pretty worn down. I felt like, you know, well, with the fact that like, or besides the fact that like my heart was trying to explode or tinker off, like felt fine, even though I looked like hell. But I just finished writing. I did my quota this morning, and like it's funny because there's this weird kind of philosophy with writing, and a lot of writers ascribe to it. A lot of published writers have believe in it, and a lot of writers that I've come across, you know, in creative writing classes and whatnot, they always believe that like in order to write and to write well, you need to be miserable. Like you need to be completely and utterly miserable, because like they always think that like this wealth of emotion or this overload of emotion is going to translate into good writing, you know. For me, that's not the case. Like I used to believe in it too. Like I used to like be the exact same way, and I used to think like, oh, I need to be like upset or miserable, and like, and to a certain extent, like back in the day, like I would allow my neuroses to kind of like pollute me in order to keep me like to a certain level of misery, and that way, so I could write like in misery, I could write, you know, emotionally affected, and so I used to think that like I wrote better like that. But like obviously I can read yesterday morning, like last morning's work when I was pretty miserable, and then read, you know, this morning's work when I'm pretty much extremely happy. And there is a noticeable qualitative difference. The stuff from yesterday is crap compared to the stuff from today. So I guess it boils down into the fact that I'm not a misery writer, which I'm okay with, because the beautiful thing about that is that you make me happy like, pretty much all the time, which is for you, or actually for me anyways, like that's a pretty big thing. Like the fact that you could make me happy pretty much all the time. Like, you know, you're a step above the rest with that, because yeah. Sorry, I had nothing else to that. I was kind of rambling to a point. I made my main point, but I was like, oh, I should back it up with like several examples, but I'm like, no, let's just keep that as it is. Let's just keep that as the main point and say that, and, you know, let that breathe for itself. Yeah, I agree. So, so yeah, that's it. I was just telling you that like there's a noticeable difference in my writing as compared to yesterday's misery writing and today's happy writing. So, and in my notes, the notes that I leave in the margins, it's obvious that I'm happy today as compared to like yesterday. So, okay. So I basically made a video blog entry to tell you that I am happy today. Sounds good to me.